Hello and good evening, everyone. I've just realised my hair is huge. Sorry, I've got the just back from kickboxing hair, so apologies to all. And anyway, welcome to another live stream. I did something really silly. I did. I forgot to put it on my desk as well, but I had a delivery yesterday. It was kind of unexpected, and it was from my own stupidity, really. I got Arrow Videos Hard Boiled on Blu-ray. You may have remembered I picked this up a couple of weeks ago also. Long story short, this was my own silliness. This was when it was going out of print absolutely everywhere. The Blu-ray was impossible to find. I placed an order with Amazon that said you could order it, but it was waiting until about June until it came out. I thought, you know what, I'm going to place an order, and then the listing sort of disappeared from Amazon and you couldn't get the Blu-ray anywhere. I thought, oh, this is going to be Amazon cancelled thing. I need to do something. I need to get the 4K while it's still available. It was a film that I wanted all of a sudden again. So I ordered the 4K and forgot all about this Amazon order that I had for the Blu-ray. And lo and behold, surprisingly, Amazon didn't cancel the order and they actually delivered. So now I have two copies of Hard Boiled, one on Blu-ray and one on 4K. So one will be heading off to eBay shortly, I think, as soon as I can bother to get it listed. But again, crazy collector, forget what orders are in, and ends up with two copies of things, which is kind of ridiculous. Yeah. So anyway, before I get started, this episode or this stream is kind of unique. I don't know if I've seen anyone else on YouTube do it. I don't know if it's something new. It's something that was suggested, and I thought, tell you what, I'm going to give everyone a chance. This one, I'm leaving it open for you guys to join me. And I've popped the StreamYard link in the description below that you should be able to find. If not, I will try and link it in the chat so you can find it. But you click the StreamYard link and it brings you to this studio where you'll be in a holding pattern. And I get to add you and remove you as well. So you can join me, ask a question, have a topic, talk about whatever you want for a few minutes. And then after a few minutes, I'll probably knock you off and go on to the next person. Depends who's in the chat, and I'll try and get a flow going so everyone gets a chance if they want to chat. So that's how it's going to go. No particular topic apart from whatever you guys want, really. So we're about to jump in. And before I do dive in, I'm going to jump in and see who's with us in the chat and see. Just let me know in the comments who's going to join me. I see a couple of people waiting already. So hey to Adam and hey to Morton. If you can hear me, give me a wave. I can. There you go. Morton can see me. And Adam as well. There we go. But in the chat, let's see who we've got there. We have with us, as always, we have Jeremy Carr. Jeremy, good evening, sir. Hope you're going to be joining me shortly as well. I will kick off very, very soon. We've got Morton's reviews with us as well. Good evening, Morton. Dude, how many people are already here? There's a couple of people waiting to chat to me. And there's 30 people watching at the moment. But Anthony Lipiello is with us as well. Good evening, Anthony. Hope you are well and hope you had a very merry birthday or happy birthday. We've got Adam in NYC that I've mentioned is there already. In-person suite is going to put the kettle on and is on his way. I can see you in there in chat already. We've got MC, is it Chioli? I'm not sure, but he's with us. Good evening, MC. I'll just call you MC for short. Some retro guy with us as well. Good evening, some retro guy. Jerry Cheer with us as well with a big order by the looks of it. Turned out to be a very expensive month for film. I look forward to your list later, Jerry. Oh, I've got his list here. I'm gonna star Jerry's list so I don't get lost on that. There we go. Oh, Jerry, how many things did you buy, my man? He's got loads. I'm going to bring those up later. We have, I think I'm getting through. Batcave, good evening, Batcave. Hope you're doing well. Says good evening, chaps. We've got John Robinson as well. Good evening, Phil, and all watching. Good evening, John. Don't forget the link to join me in chat. It's in the description. We've got Darren G with us. Good evening, all. Good evening, Darren. We've got Cinema-san. Bonjour. We've got Ethan Schneider. Hello, Ethan. We've got Adam Rag with us. We've got Alex Great. We've got Napster. Good evening, Napster. Good evening, everyone. We have Cranston Knight. Howdy, extra hard-boiled folks. Yeah. Alex Great says, are you going to be selling that hard-boiled for face value? I'm going to scalp it. I'm going to go on eBay and scalp. No, I'll probably put it up on auction and just put it on face value just to get our money back, to be fair. Woody is with us as well. Hey, Woody, how are you doing? Well, Alex again. Sorry if I'm repeating people. Acres of Movies. Hello, and thanks from my favorite Harold Becker thriller. Don't know the name Harold Becker. I'm sorry. Who is he? What's he done? Let me know. Big Jace with us as well. Good evening, Phil, and everyone in the chat. Good evening, Jace. We've got Slotprofessor with us as well. So, hey, Slotprofessor. So, that's hey to everyone in the chat. And shall I get the first guest on and see where we go? So I've got to. I can see who was first up. So, welcome to the stage. Okay, hang on. Welcome to the stage, Adam from New York. Hey, Adam. How are you doing, my friend?
New York, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm going to turn you up a bit because my volumes aren't quite right. Surrounded by your movies there, my man. Have you got a special movie room set up?
It's in my media room, so all the family can enjoy. We all have our choices of movies, so it's a healthy mix of comedies, cartoons, and sci-fi action.
Excellent. It's nice to have the separate family room as well, or separate media room, if you like. Do you spend a lot of family time there?
Oh yeah, we try at least a couple times a week, and it's really nice on who just gets the choice of what they want to watch, and then we all curl up in the comfy chairs, pop some popcorn, and have some quality family time.
Excellent. And you don't have to say, how old are your kids?
Oh, sorry, I was just waving to my sister who was walking through. Oh, so 11 and 13.
Right. Mine are, I'm trying to think, 11 and 8 at the moment. And I know I've seen a couple of pictures of your collection, and your kids are quite into the Star Wars animated things, as are you. And I was just wondering, I suppose, are you all looking forward to Mandalorian and Grogu?
Yes, my sister is extremely excited about it as well because she's a huge Mandalorian fan. I don't know if I've sent you some of the pictures, but anything Mandalorian related would be her collection. Anything Clone Wars related would be our collection.
Nice. I with my kids, I started watching. I hadn't watched Clone Wars until I had kids, and I was looking for something to enjoy with my oldest at the time. And we started working our way through the Clone Wars series, and then we went on to Star Wars Rebels. Then we went back to Clone Wars and rewatched that again, and then it was onto the Bad Batch. And having kids and going through those animated shows, it really boosted my love of Star Wars again. And I don't know if you found a similar experience or if you watched Clone Wars when it was originally released, but I've got real excitement about the franchise again now through my kids and through watching these animated features.
Yeah, so I'm well into my 50s, so OG Star Wars guy here, as you could tell by the wizardy long hair. But the Clone Wars, when I started watching it, really drew me back into my love of Star Wars and started off my collecting all over again. You know, most of my things from my youth had been passed on to other kids or, you know, had been donated over the years. Oh, sorry, my camera got moved. My dog just came into the room. So it was really nice over time, just rebuilding that love again. And the same thing, getting our way through the Clone Wars, Tales of the Jedi, then Rebels, Bad Batch, and now with the new Maul Shadow Lord series, which has just been absolutely phenomenal. It's just everybody looks forward to Mondays, you know, instead of I hate Mondays, it's now I love Maul Mondays.
Yeah, we've not fallen into the Maul Shadow Lord yet because there are things that I watch with my eldest son when my youngest goes to bed, and we've got him in a rhythm of watching sort of Buffy and Angel at the minute, and it's hard to get him to break away from those to go back to Maul Shadow Lord. But I'm desperate. I'm chomping at the bit to get to Maul Shadow Lord because I think it looks great, and I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, I've loved Clone Wars throughout, definitely, and some of the storylines, I think, put the but some of the live action prequels, especially, it's a shame. I know it's just a shame we didn't get any of those storylines on live action.
Yeah, well, the fact that they had missed out on a couple arcs when unfortunately the series got canceled, the Crystal Crisis arc, and then the whole Ventress arc, and the arc that I really would have appreciated the most with the Son of Dathomir. I'm hoping with the end of season 1 of Maul or season 2, we might actually get to see some flashbacks to that. Or perhaps with the popularity that this series seems to be drawing in fans from all over the place, that they may actually go back and give us some of the unproduced arcs.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Is there anything else you're enjoying at the moment?
So For All Mankind is new for us. We're also in the process of a rewatch of one of my favorite science fiction programs by the Henson Studios, Jim Henson's son, Brian, the show Farscape.
Nice. Yeah. I know that. It's one that I didn't watch myself, but yeah, I know of it. I know of it.
Yeah, if you have an opportunity, I would highly recommend it. A lot of people think it was a kid show because, there were Muppety puppets in it, but it was really a series that adults could enjoy. And the Muppeteering in it was absolutely top notch and phenomenal. Yeah. At the time, running against Stargate, I believe it was, if not the first or second most costly per episode being produced in Australia.
Right. Napster's jumped in and says, I would love to see some more live action with Maul. So how about you? Would you like to see Maul on live action again, or do you think he's happily sat on animated?
Well, it really depends on, if the rumors are true and that they're going to take his demise in Rebels and rework it for some new live action items, or perhaps a continuation of other stories in the animated format. He's one of my favorite characters, so I'd be up for it in either way. Followed by Cad Bane, or followed by other appearances of Ventress, being that they seem to have resurrected her with Dathomir and Matt. Yeah,
I agree. I think the animated has done Maul a lot of favors, because I don't think he was very fleshed out in the live action films, and the animated just added to his whole whole demeanor and everything. Sorry, Darren G says Mandalorian and Grogu looks worse with every clip I see. I disagree with that. I think it looks great. I think it looks fun.
Well, I think some folks may have some preconceived notions about it. This is really gonna, I think, in my opinion, going to harken back to the old days of the serialized, like old Flash Gordon episodes. I really believe this is gonna have a little bit of information sprinkled into it to roll into Ahsoka. But for the most part, I think this is really just going to be a self-contained, simple pop culture adventure, just, like we had in the old days.
Yeah, gotcha. Have you got any questions for me?
Well, one of the particular questions is, I had been following you for a long time, and I know you've touched on it here and there, and Glenn has spoken about it as well. But what really drew you into acting? And the second part of that would be, with where the state of business is right now, do you still find that you have a passion for it, or do you find that it's more of a hindrance trying to get yourself recorded as opposed to going to do interviews or going to do tests? How's it working out for you, and do you still have a love for it?
Yeah, absolutely. I still absolutely have a love for it. I would love to work more. Every experience, not every experience, most experiences I've absolutely adored. I love it. I love being on set, and I happily sit there, and I would sit on my trailer all day just watching everything behind the scenes happening. Drawing it back to what got me into acting, really, it was just a passion for the behind the scenes. I wanted to see behind the scenes of a movie. And I think I was watching a documentary about tall people with my wife, and it showed one of the tall guys going for an audition with an agency, and I thought, you know, that could get me behind the scenes. I could actually get behind the scenes and see what's going off. I just want to visit a film set. I want to be on a film set. So I thought, you know, that acting log, that could be my easy way in to go and see a movie set. It was never sort of intentional that, yes, I want to be an actor. It was always about, I just wanted to get on a film set. I love films. I wanted to see the workings and everything like that. And I went to this agency and just got immediately put on the books, and literally a handful of weeks after I joined the agency, they invited me down to Harry Potter. It was when Deathly Hallows was already filmed, and they were doing some reshoots, and they needed someone to stand in for Hagrid. The guy that's Hagrid's normal stand-in, he wasn't available, so they just needed someone else. And I went down there, got onto the set, I tried the suit on. It didn't fit. I was too big for the suit, but I was kind of happy. I'd been on the movie set. I'd seen the destroyed Hogwarts. I'd seen Privet Drive, and I'd seen a few bits and bobs behind the scenes. I was buzzing from that. But then a couple of weeks later, the same agency, because I went down for that, I think they felt bad for me, and they said, "Are you available for this?" And I managed to get the time off work, and I went down to film for a scene on Sherlock Holmes' Game of Shadows, and I was awful. I did a terrible job. I was thrown in at the deep end, and I didn't know what I was doing. They stuck me in against Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law for a scene, and they gave me a script with lines which I wasn't expecting. Then I had to learn these lines. When I got to set, I was reciting them, but they were the wrong lines because there'd been a script change, and it was just quite a difficult experience. But I thought the whole experience of being on set and seeing all the moving pieces and hanging out with people that worked on it, it was epic for me. And I thought I really enjoyed that. Even though I know I sucked, I thought I need to do something. And then I started going to acting classes, and then I started to take it more seriously, and sort of built up from there, really. So yeah, the acting for me was initially all about just wanting to get on a movie set in any way, shape, or form. It didn't matter if I was working; I just wanted to be on the movie set.
And that's wonderful, and being able to get to be on the set of, you know, such beloved IPs just had to be an absolutely enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
Now, do you seeing quote unquote how the sausage is made, does that have any effect on how you feel about watching the movie afterwards? Does it take you out of it knowing that you know all the little secrets as to how it was done?
It can do at times when you know you've filmed certain little elements or certain bits, then you watch the finished movie and things are changed, things are put out of sequence. But I think over time, you start to accept that regardless of the work you put in, regardless of the work you do, they have to take it and they have to make it into a product. They have to make the movie work. And if your scene is slowing things down, doesn't quite work enough, then it will get removed. So at first it was very jarring when you'd watch something, you knew what had been filmed for it, and it was just ignored. But now I understand that regardless how long I'm on set, there's no guarantee that anything that you do will go on there. All that I know is that I've got to do the best that I can with the time that I've got there, and just hope that it's included. One of the things that was missing from The Northman, there was a big scene for the opening. I was meant to be in the very first opening scene, but that all got chopped out completely. And that when we were filming, it was a real test for me because I was on horseback, which was a new thing for me. It was nighttime. I was on literally the edge of a cliff face with a torch on fire, trying to deliver lines to a guy that's just behind me. So I'm having to reach around, make sure the torch fire is lighting my face in the right way. It's a real testing environment to be in. So when the film comes out, there is that element of disappointment when something like that's missing, because it freaked me out. It freaked me out to do that scene, but I did it. And when you don't see it in there, you're like, oh, I did that. That made me so worried. And they cut it out. It is on the extras. It survived for the extras, so it is still there. But yeah, it's it's a nice learning experience once you get into the swing and realize it isn't all about me. It isn't all about what I'm doing. It's the whole process, the whole thing.
Well, that's wonderful to hear that you still have an actual active passion for it.
Yeah.
Now, one more question for you, and then obviously I don't want to monopolize too much time in the stream because I'm a chatty Cathy and can talk all day. If you could choose to have yourself in one specific IP, what would that dream IP be? And it doesn't have to be something new and coming up. It could have been something previous, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I think Lord of the Rings would have been a nice one. Just thinking about a couple of things that I sort of missed out on. Is that right? I would love to get another crack at Star Wars and as an actual character rather than just being as a creature in a suit kind of thing. I'd like to be able to do a character in a Star Wars show. I'd like to be in just a henchman that gets a cool fight scene in any sort of action movie would be awesome. Something like, facing off against Martin Riggs in Lethal Weapon or something like that. It doesn't have to be a major role. I'd just love to have a nice action sequence with a bona fide action star that I could face off against, even if it's something like an Expendables movie when I come up against Stallone or something like that. But the interesting thing is that there was at one point an audition came up for an Expendables movie, and they contacted me about it, and that just disappeared without audition or anything. That went away, and that can be disappointing sometimes when you get contacted about things and then they just disappear without an audition.
Yeah, there'd be nothing like meeting your end from Sly Stallone or perhaps Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I could see how that could be a dream and a fun little thing.
Even though they're not big sort of roles as such, I think something that would be fun for me to try. And yeah.
Yeah, experience alone, that would seem like it would just be absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so very much for doing this today and taking the time to chat with us. I really appreciate it, and I will pass it along to the next person that might be waiting in queue.
No worries. I'm going to I'll knock you off then, Adam. If you do want to join me later as well, if there's no one waiting or anything, then anyone's welcome to jump in, jump out. So if you want to hang around, I'll kick you out of the room for now. But if you want to join later, just pop yourself up on there and we'll see what time we have.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Good chatting, Adam. We'll catch you later. I've clicked the wrong button. Stay. That's the wrong one. That's the right one. There we go. Sorry, I'm getting it all mixed up. I'm trying to remove Adam, and I can't quite. I can kick him from studio. I'm going to kick you, Adam. I think, what am I doing? This is all new, and I don't know what I'm doing. I apologize. I'm going to put myself on screen. There we go, Adam. Remove. There we go. I've got it now. I've got it. I'm back on fire. This is all new to me. Anyway, let's see what's in the comments before we move on to our next guest. Our next guest may or may not be Morton. So I hope you're ready, Morton. I can see you looking around. Pay attention, my man. In terms of my acting, Napster says could definitely see Phil in Westeros. Excellent. That would be nice. I did once audition for Game of Thrones, but they went with someone that had a lot more meat. That was for the role that Halfthor played back in my youth. Obviously, he's got the girth, and I've not. I don't look like a mountain size-wise, really. Chris Knight says, just pretend he was one of those kids at your kickboxing class. Could do. Here we go. Sorry if I'm skipping anyone's questions. Getting carried away with talking, aren't I? Slipknot fan in regards to the Northman. Wow, got to see those scenes, deleted scenes. They are in there. And I hope you all watched my death scene in Northman. That was quite a fun one to film. Brian Smith's in the house as well. Good evening, Brian Smith. Jeremy Carr says, drinking game every time reach around gets said. Have I said it already, Jeremy? Have I really? Darren G, we've got that. Anyway, I think we're there. Trevor Mora, let's have a look. Just wondering, would you have to watch Boba Fett before or Mando? I'm so behind with Star Wars streaming series. it's a good idea to get them all watched before the Mandalorian series, if you can, just so that you know the characters and you know the basic vibe. I think it would be quite standalone anyway, but I think you'll get a lot more from it if you follow the whole sort of thing. Scaps 2200. My wife was an extra for the Castle Rock TV show, but unfortunately her scene was cut. She got paid though. Sometimes happens. That's what happened with me on Sherlock Holmes. There we go. I'm going to get the next guest on then. I think I'm more or less around the comments. Here we go. Morton, welcome to stage. Is everyone ready for Morton? Because I'm not sure I am. Good evening, Morton.
How's it going?
I'm good, my friend. Are you?
Very, very tired. Just got back to Berlin today.
Yeah, you've been traveling. How did you rush back for the stream?
Say that again?
Did you rush back for the stream?
No, we rushed back because we're really tired. I had a very long concert.
I'll leave it to it then. Do you want to? Have you got a question, or shall I badger you about your pickups?
Well, I don't have so many pickups this week, but I was wondering what made you want to start doing the look at yourself type videos where you say, I don't know how to say this, like look at your collecting and why you're doing this. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
What made you start wanting to do those?
So why I took a different sort of approach to physical media and doing those sort of videos. I don't know if it was initially planned when I started doing YouTube, but one of the things that I sort of promised to myself that when I started doing the videos I'm doing for YouTube, I didn't want to try and think how to put this. I didn't want to be beholden to buying new items or having new things to constantly show for my videos. I wanted something to say or a little story to come along or something that sometimes would answer questions. And I think I did a couple of videos that did quite well when I started questioning my habits and how I collected. So I decided to keep on down that path because it wasn't something that was going to cost me financially to have for the content that I put out. And it's something that I'd been thinking about myself over time. And when I started to talk about more personal feelings with what I'd been doing with my collecting and how I'd been collecting, I think I got a bit more of a response from that when I was putting out what I was thinking. I found that other people were doing it as well. So I started to sort of go down that path of, oh, what else do I think about slipcovers? Is anyone else going to think the same thing like me? And I think it became addictive in a way to hear that other people perhaps suffer in the way that I do from time to time as well. So it became interesting for me to try and do content without buying the thing to make content, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I just really appreciate it because it made me look at myself and then helped me get rid of a lot of my movies. So
yeah, I get it. As have you started to think about things in different ways? Has your collecting sort of changed as you've been doing the videos, or have you sort of just maintained the path that you originally set out on?
well, I've definitely changed what's on my shelf. I've sold so many movies the last months because like I'll look at it and be like, okay, well, I watched it once, I'm never gonna watch it again. Why do I have it? It's taking up space. I could, use that space for something more that I want. So it definitely has changed. In the beginning, it was just like I want a library of everything. I want someone to come over and be like, oh, do you have this for me? But yeah, it's over here. Do you have this movie? Oh yeah, it's over here. But it has definitely changed. Now it's stuff that I grew up with.
Yeah, I was the same to some extent. It's like, oh, I want the biggest library. I want people to be able to borrow whatever film they want from me. If we're talking about a movie, I want to be able to tell this person that I have the movie. And it's not as fulfilling as you think, really, having the library, because it comes to a point that I don't want to lend things out, and this person's not interested if I don't have the movie, if I have the movie or I don't have it. They're not interested, And yeah. I think that sort of realization crept in as well, that there was no one as interested or invested in my collection as I was. And I think that dawned on me a lot. For example, when I'm talking to people in the office job that I have about films, I'll say, "Oh yeah, I've got that on Blu-ray," and they'll be like, "Oh right, I watched it on streaming." And it just doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter if I've got it or not. The conversation's about the film, not if I own it or not, if that makes sense. And that sort of thing kind of dawned on me as well. It's yeah. Have you filled one particular room with your physical media, or does it overrun into different areas of the house?
Well, I mean, the hallway is the whole wall from like our bedroom to the front door is nothing but movies.
Mhm.
Behind me and next to me, well, next to me is my wife's CDs, and then our video games, and then music video, DVDs, live concerts and stuff here, and then my CDs are behind me.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think you'll carry on collecting like you have, or are sort of things creeping in your mind that perhaps you want to pull back a little bit?
it's definitely got to pull back a bit. I mean, I'm running out of space. I think I just sold 19 things to some used shop here in Germany. Um, yeah, definitely with the movies, I'm changing it. I only have, I think, one pre-order, and I've had that for half a year, I think.
Great.
So, yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to bring up a question from chat, actually. We've got Acres of Movies says, question for you two. What is your favorite 90s thriller? Do you have a favorite 90s thriller? Because I think I'd be swinging towards Seven, if the timing's
Seven's
right.
a good one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think the 90s had some great thrillers, particularly, they're a lot better than they are now. Particularly, sort of, you had like Single White Female. There was the Sigourney Weaver one, Copycat. There was Double Jeopardy with Tommy Lee Jones. There was quite a lot. Unlawful Entry with Kurt Russell, and things like that. There was a lot of good, solid thrillers in the 90s, and I don't think we'll get as many now. There was a thriller I watched last night, which was a new one I will talk about later, but I thought they just don't hold as strong. But anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. Favorite 90s thriller?
Damn, I got so many. Well, there was Double Jeopardy was really good. Hunted was really good. I don't know if you would call it Natural Born Killers was amazing, but I don't think that's thriller. Yeah.
Darren G just said Silence of the Lambs, of course. I forgot
Silence
that
of the
one.
Lambs is good too. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at my shelf. I don't have one in particular at the moment.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Oh, Slipknot fan says Fight Club was from '99, so I've lost track of times. Speaking of Fight Club, is that a movie that you'll be looking to upgrade onto 4K, or is it one that you're not bothered about?
Well, it's actually funny. I don't even own it on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, nothing. I've never even seen the full movie.
Really?
So, yeah, I started watching it, and then I got like halfway through, and then I think I saw the ending. I think the guy is crazy, and it's like just himself with like a split personality. I could be wrong, but once I saw that, I was like, oh, if that's how it ends, then I don't need to see it.
Oh man, I love Fight Club. I think it's great, but I understand also that it's not going to be for everyone.
I mean, like I said, it could be good. I have it on the hard drive, so
give it a try, man. Try staying awake.
Hey, I got so much to new, freshly watched movies. Your Self of Shame. I have one as well, so I'm literally just trying to do movie after movie after movie that are new. So the hard drive's on hold.
Do you find yourself, because I did this last night, I've got a pile of unwatched movies, as you know, and last night sat down to watch something with the wife, and I ended up renting something on iTunes to watch. It was a new movie that I wanted to see, so I ended up renting it rather than watching one of my old ones. Do you get waylaid like that at all? Does the new shiny stuff outweigh this stuff that you got waiting?
Yeah, like if like I always have a shelf, and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna watch this, and then something will come in the post, like, ooh, no, I want to watch this more, and then that thing will go back to the shelf, and then like that happened with the Gangs of New York. I had it over here by the television to watch, and then I started it, and then something else came, so I was like, okay, and then just went back to the shelf. So still haven't watched it.
Scaps 2200 just says, hot take, I have never watched E.T. and have no desire to. What do you think to that? Have you seen E.T.?
That one I've definitely seen. I've watched it a bunch as a kid. I don't own it though. If that makes it any better, I don't own that one.
Really?
But,
Oh,
yeah.
I do own it, and I will happily watch it again. But I understand that it's not going to be for everyone. So if you're going to desire to watch it, don't bother. If you're going in with the wrong sort of look on what you're expecting from it or what you're expecting it to be, just don't bother if you're not fancying it.
Yeah, I got the problem like where I'll go back to an old movie. Like I just watched Goonies a couple months ago, and I didn't really remember anything. I just remember it from a kid being a super great movie, and I loved it. And then I watched it, I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of lame. So yeah.
Have you got any other questions for me before we move on to my next guest?
At the moment, I don't. But if you got any for me, shoot them, and then yeah.
Right, I'm going to remove you for now, and we'll rotate it once we come round if there's no one else waiting, and have you back.
See you, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining me, Morton. See you soon. There we go. I got the right button this time as well. So that was Morton. So if you've not checked out Morton's channel, obviously it's called Morton's Reviews, and when we get on later, I'll get him to pimp his own channel as well, so you all know about it. But next up, are we ready for another guest? I need the bongos again. We've got Slotprofessor. Good evening, sir.
All right. How's things?
Good. You?
Not too bad.
Thank you for joining us.
That's all right. I thought give this a shot.
Yeah. Oh, you coming through bright and clear. Now behind you.
I kind of have I used to do streaming myself, so I have a kind of streaming setup anyway.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Is that your whole collection that you got behind you there?
No, this is fairly new because for me, I've collected media forever, but I stopped with DVDs for a long while, and then I decided to go back about a couple of years ago because for me, Blu-rays was really expensive, and the equipment you needed was really expensive at the time, and I didn't think anything of it. So really, I've only been recollecting again for the last couple of years. So I'm kind of catching up with rejuvenating all the titles that I've got on DVD to Blu-ray, if you understand by that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you find it expensive to be replacing the things like that, or do you take it sort of step at a time as you're ready to watch them?
I'm quite a quick look because I've done a lot of things in my life, like market trader and things like that. I'm quite quick at finding ways to get things at cheaper rates, shall we say it like that. Right. So I can kind of figure it out and, get the best value basically. But yes, it has been a lot of money. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Getcha. I've got a question for you. I'm going to put you on the spot now because we've got a question come into the comments. We've got Scaps 2200. What is your favorite one film, or one film? What is your favorite?
It's going to be a bit cliche, but if it was before this time, I'd have had something different. But Lord of the Rings, I can watch over and over and over and over again.
Really? Yeah. Yeah. I think they're great. I think they're great films. I wish I had time to watch them more often and sit with the kids to watch them now. But once every couple of years, I think I get to them. But I don't think that's often enough. I think it's great achievements in filmmaking.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've had to really look at what I'm collecting as it's really the last couple of years. So like some of the things you've been saying have been quite interesting to me as I'm kind of rejuvenating all those new titles and collecting new things.
Yeah.
So some of what you've been saying has been kind of interesting to learn for myself as I'm doing it again myself.
Yeah, I've started to really look a lot closer at things now before I pick them up. Particularly if we take, for example, the recent Arrow announcement. I know there was a title in there that ordinarily in the past I would have just jumped for because it's new edition. It's a nicer looking edition. It looks like it's got some new extras. And it was heralded that at the time as a great thriller, a classic, if you like, which was Falling Down. And ordinarily, that would have been a film that I would perhaps have jumped for to add into the collection because I did enjoy the film. But now I consider that, yes, I enjoyed it, but how often am I going to watch it in its lifetime with everything else new coming out? How often is that going to come around for a rewatch? And is it worth me picking it up just for that one extra rewatch? is there anything else on the disc that's going to benefit for me? And looking at things like that now, I realise that Falling Down, it isn't going to be one I want to add in the collection because I'm not going to get to it as often as I'd perhaps think or need to if I'm spending that kind of money on it.
Yeah, Arrow's kind of a weird studio for me because I like what they do and I have bought a few of their titles, but a lot of their stuff, I'm always like 50-50. So like I bought Red Planet and I bought Lost in Space because I felt they were worthy of 4K upgrades.
Yeah.
Because I had the Blu-rays and then I decided to upgrade them. And Inner Space was another one that I was like sitting on the fence with.
Have you watched
the film? Go on.
Have you watched the Lost in Space 4K?
Yeah.
How does that hold up in terms of the FX, particularly when they introduced Blob and things like that? Because I thought they looked pretty ropey in the day, and because of when it was released, if the effects are only being scaled up to 2K, if they look rough or not.
Yeah, I feel like for me, because 4K is relatively new to me, that the sound is where you get the biggest gains more than from the Blu-ray. So like, if they got like a Dolby Atmos track, I feel like I get more out of it because I had to go and buy a new sound bar to get the Dolby Atmos out of most of the stuff I've got now. My TV isn't quite, it's 4K compatible, but I don't get the best out of the picture, so I can't, it's decent, but it's not like the HDR level sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I thought it was better than the Blu-ray.
Nice. What soundbar did you go for?
It was a Samsung one, but it was I was very lucky with the timing. It was like £1,000 normally, and it was dropped to half price, like 400.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what model it is, but it is actually, I am surprised how good it is because you get two speakers that go at the back, and it's only really a soundbar and two speakers. And I thought this might not be too great, and it actually is quite good for what you're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you have a question for me, Mr. Slotprofessor?
Yes, I was just curious, like from my perspective as someone who's like been doing this for just 2 years, like, are you getting to a stage with your collecting that you just think there's nothing left for you to collect, or is it becoming a case of, you've got all the backlog of titles that you want and you're not really interested in the new titles anymore? Because you seem to be sort of like confused what to do in the present.
Yeah, I get you. I think it is coming to that it is coming to that point where the collecting feels for me like it's wrapping up in a way. I certainly don't feel the pull towards the newly released titles, as in new movies. I have more of a pull towards the special editions of movies that I've known in the past. I seem to be living on the movies that I grew up with and things like that. They're the ones that I'm seeming to be drawn towards for collecting now. But even that is a lot lower than it used to be. I'm leaning a lot onto digital, which a lot of people don't like to hear, but for me, it has its place, particularly when I'm working away and things like that. So there's things that I'm buying on digital that I'm just not bothering adding to the collection. New title-wise for new movies, probably one of the most recent ones that I picked up was Sinners. And I literally only picked that up because Glenn contacted me and said, "Oh, it's in this offer. I want a copy, and there's nothing else I want. Did you want one as well?" I said, "Yeah, put me down for one." And that's the only reason I picked up Sinners. Other favourite movies from last year, like One Battle After Another, I haven't picked that up yet. And I'm thinking more now of, I don't need to pick it up until I'm ready to watch it. And I think that's the biggest thing that's changed my collecting is I don't want to collect for the sake of just having it on the shelf. I want to collect when I want to watch the thing. I want to really use the thing. And I think that's been the biggest thing for me with my collecting is slowing it down, taking it step by step and trying, not always succeeding, but trying to just buy the things when I'm ready to watch them.
Right. Because I wondered, is this because you go to the cinema more, or?
Potentially, yes. I think that's probably helped a lot of the purchases, because the bigger movies that I am tending to get watched, so I know that I won't get back to them straight away or anytime soon. Trying to think of other examples of things, but there are films at the cinemas that I have checked out at the cinema and I'm just not bothered about watching again anymore. And I think they're the sort of movies that I would have picked up on physical media. I'd be trying to probably rent instead of buy them, potentially, but in the past, they are the ones that I would have just gone and bought outright straight away.
Yeah, no, I kind of get that. For me, it's kind of the opposite, because going to the cinema is kind of hard where I live now, and I used to do the cinema pass things, and now I just can't. Like with it costs about £5 to rent something. I just think if I get the Blu-ray, normally I can get them for like £12. And then if I don't like it, I just sell it on and maybe lose £2 or £3. So I've kind of gone a different way with it. I just wondered if it was because you were starting to watch more in the cinema that you were doing it that way.
I think it has probably curbed a few of the pickups. For example, I say this, like seeing Superman at the cinema last year. It's a film that I did enjoy. But then it's a film that I bought on digital because I know my kids wanted to watch it again. And then because I've got it on digital, I've made a purchase, but it's meant that I've not picked up the physical because I know the digital sat there and I know I'm not watching it myself. So, yeah, I think it has affected it to some extent, yeah.
I mean, as a, well, not new, but recently new collector, I've noticed I've had to start getting a lot more stuff from America. Purely because the titles over here are very hard to get hold of. If it's a British title that's hard, you're looking at 30-40 quid for just a Blu-ray in some cases.
Yes.
So I if you're a new collector, like my advice is, like, if you know someone in America or like aren't afraid of importing things, that's my advice. Like, for some of the titles, you're going to have to go there because they're just not available in the UK.
Yeah, I agree. There's some of the titles. I'm trying to think of an example now, but you know when you're on the chat and your brain just goes blank. But there's been a couple of things recently that I've looked at, and you're having to look at different routes because they're just not available over here. For example, the Lionsgate Limited. Lionsgate Limited or Lionsgate Limited editions, the steelbook versions, that you can only get direct through Lionsgate and only to US addresses. It's just very difficult to get things like the Way of the Gun special edition, or what was it, the Reservoir Dogs, did they have the special sleeve on it, or the new edition of Scream 4, for example. That's got more extras on the Lionsgate Limited than it has on the standard release. And it's
I mean, I agree, because there are a couple I want from Lionsgate. I want The Descent, and like over here, you're looking at 60-70 quid on the secondary market, and it's only 25. And if you know someone, you send it to them, and then they send it to you, sort of thing, and pay the difference. I feel like that's the hardest thing in the UK as a media collector now. I feel like we're getting shrinking. It feels like even over the 2 years, it's shrinking what we have access to compared to America.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a certain difficulty that comes with importing for a lot of people as well, because, like I say, it is very, very expensive.
Yeah, I mean, we have CEX, which a lot of the Americans don't, which does help. If you're clever with that, you can manipulate that in some ways to get a lot of titles, but after a while, that runs out, and you have to look at other things. I mean, I recently got the Game of Thrones Steelbook set. Didn't think they'd reprint it, and they went and reprinted it. And I just looked at the price, and I thought it was absolutely horrific in this country. It's like £300, which is what, $360?
Yeah.
And it's like $222 over in the States. So it's even with newer stuff now, it's getting silly over here if you want.
I've found that Sometimes with importing, but generally with stuff that's hard to find anyway, that scalpers in the UK, I'm sure it's the same overseas as well, but the UK in particular seems to really price things so high. Any scalpers, they just make silly prices. I know I've spoken about it before, but I've been looking every now and again for a Blu-ray of One Fine Day. I ended up getting the DVD version in the end because it was like £1. But One Fine Day, CEX had it for about £10 for the Blu-ray, and the scalpers on eBay, they've priced it at sort of 50, 60 quid. They're way over CEX prices, and they do it with the imports as well, and it's getting beyond a joke.
Oh, eBay in the UK is flooded with imports, absolutely flooded. You know, it's hard to find anything that isn't anymore. So I think it's becoming a lot harder. I mean, it's niche already. It's becoming niche, I think, and it's getting harder for people to do it. But in some ways, it was very nice because it's also easier in this country because you can pick quite a few Blu-rays up now, really cheap now.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of things are £1.50p. I mean, when people ask you what their Blu-rays are worth, it's kind of like you say, well, that's only 50p, but they go, that's a really good film. It's not necessarily about the quality of the film anymore. It's about how rare it is. You know, you can get all the best films for cheap, but then the hard to find stuff is horrific over here.
Absolutely. Right. I'm going to wrap you up now, Slotprofessor. And then
nice to talk.
I'll see if we can swing back round. I'm not sure how we're going to get on for time, but if you've got any other questions, then you can welcome to stop in here, and if we can swing around, I will. But
sure.
It's been a pleasure, sir.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye. Right. We're going to go straight on to the next one because I can see Mr. Jeremy Carr waiting here. Is it a surprise now? It's not a surprise, is it? But I'm still going to bongo him in. Go with it. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Jeremy Carr.
Hello. How's it going, Phil?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Very well.
I'm going to just remove the comments from the screen because I can see a little quote. Jeremy Carr is not supposed to be here today. Little cheeky cloaks reference there, sir. Who have you got behind you? I can see Puppet Master.
Yes, I actually have some, I guess, replicas, some props. Like I knew a few people who had molds of parts.
Right.
So
Right.
I got them, like the original molds from the movies. So I got them to mold them for me, and then I built it and put it together.
Nice. Do you do that often, or just for a select few things?
What was that?
Do you do that sort of thing quite often, or is it just for select things that you?
I'm pretty much Puppet Master. Like I have about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, is it a replica? Yes, but it used the movie molds, so
It doesn't matter. It looks cool, man. It looks cool. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter if they're replicas. Doesn't matter if they're real. They look pretty cool on the shelf. So
and they're all to scale. So
nice.
Yeah, and then I think the only other thing is I got like Evil Dead, winged Deadite face like on a plaque.
Nice.
And then sonic screwdriver, and then some Japanese stuff.
Nice. Morton's review says that those Puppet Masters are lost connection. They are, Morton. They are. Beans on toast. Beans pea on toast. They look fire. There we go. And Dr. Fear says hi as well, Jeremy.
Yo.
Have you been picking anything up recently?
Yes and no. Been spending a lot on pre-orders, which I'm not until June, so my whole month of May is going to be dry as hell.
Nice.
Then I did get a biscuit tin recently. I got the Hawkeye series.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not.
Is it quite expensive?
But
is it quite expensive? Is it quite expensive still over there, the Hawkeye series? Because I know the Disney ones were a rip-off.
It was on sale for $37. 4K.
Not bad.
Yeah, 4K, $37. And it's the special features are loaded compared to like the Moon Knight one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got the Ahsoka one, the Star Wars Ahsoka, but I've not checked out the extras yet. But that seems to be pretty decent, to be fair.
Yeah, like well worth the money. A couple of features that weren't on Disney Plus, which I was really surprised about.
Yeah.
So
I get it. I've kind of, well, I semi-talk about this with Glenn a little bit, but I don't know whether I need to lower my barrier for steelbook editions, because there's some that you just can't avoid getting a steelbook now. And one example was the Disney TV shows.
Yeah.
Because I held off on the Mandalorian ones because I didn't want a steelbook. I thought I'll get a standard edition when it comes along, and they just not coming out. And we're finding the same with the Lionsgate limited edition, and they've just got the steelbook editions. So I think I'm lowering my bar, and I'm going to have to accept that I might need to buy steelbooks as well if there's certain things that I want.
yeah, it stinks. A lot of things I tried holding out for, some things for years, and got nowhere, and just finally caved. Like some Japanese stuff, like Mothra, and then like I think, what do I have? Yeah, Moon Knight, Hawkeye. I ended up getting Army of Darkness on steelbook.
Yeah.
Because it was $15 less than the standard.
Yeah. Sometimes it just makes sense to get it. As much as you probably don't want a steelbook,
yeah,
$15 less, then you're gonna get the steelbook, aren't you?
But I ended up recouping it in the way of, now I had to buy protectors so they don't get scratched up or oxidize as fast. So did it really work out?
Do you import a lot from Asia? Because I know you like a lot of Japanese stuff, or do you have suppliers?
From Japan, figures and like statuesque stuff, not physical media.
Right. So
because I don't have any region free, unfortunately, anymore.
I don't think there can't be a huge amount you miss not being region free right now. Because okay.
Since 4K,
no.
4K made it so much easier. Like I used to when I was like a teenager, younger than that, but now don't really need it. So
you watch a lot of anime, right? Still?
Yeah.
Now in the UK, I don't know if it's the same in the US, but in the UK, if you collected anime or you want to watch anime, it's a lot more expensive than buying sort of standard movies. Is it the same over there in the US?
It depends. Some of the movies are roughly around the same price. Like Akira on 4K, for example, I spent $25 on. Not bad compared to the average US 4K film. But then when it comes to TV shows, on like anime TV shows, on most of them are Blu-ray, and they go out of print fast. So you're spending like between the $40 and $65 range for maybe a 25 to 50 episode anime.
Yeah.
And it'll probably go out of print in a year. And then the secondhand market, like one TV show I missed out on, like from a series, I'm missing one season. The season I'm missing went out of print, and it's over $200 for 25 episodes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's bad, man.
Yeah.
There's a anime show that I've looked at. I've also looked at live action movies. I want to know if it's worth my time. I was looking at Attack on Titan randomly.
On Titan, really good.
Yeah.
Really long, but good.
Yeah.
It's worth the time. The live action movies aren't really good, but the anime, it's pretty close to the comic. I'd say it's like 85% close to the manga.
I didn't rate the Death Note movies particularly highly.
Yeah,
I've got them all, but the Death Note compared to the anime, I didn't think it compared very well. But I should have bought them through now. I think I've still got them, but the Death Note releases for the movies, not the American movie, but the Death Note movies in the UK, they came in like a media book almost, and it was made to look like the Death Note book. That was really cool. I really like that.
Rarely get media books over here.
We don't get them very often anymore. There was a spate of, we probably had 6 or 7, and then they just stopped. But I think they'd still kick them out quite often in Germany.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen a bunch from Germany. I'm like, crap. I mean, I have the US release. I don't need it, but it looks so much better. And then that temptation
Yeah,
comes along.
got to get them all. They're like Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. Catch them all. And like the thing you've talked about with like the big box and the slip covers, we don't need it. It's
Yeah.
just paper, but
Yeah.
the temptation's there, the shiny new look stuff.
I tell you what, as much as I talk about the temptation and things like that and trying to avoid it and it's all bad, I still get tempted. I still do it. I still make the purchases from time to time. I try to be more conscious of it, but I'm not without fault. I still fall into those traps myself. So
Oh, yeah.
I know what it is to be a collector. I know the problem.
I do it all the time. Heck, I paid for the extra paper to pre-order Bride of Reanimator.
Yeah.
Just now from Ignite Films, I pre-ordered it earlier this month.
I pre-ordered a PlayStation game this month. I don't know.
You can get a lot of hours out of that, though.
I can possibly, yeah. That was the new Bond game, First Light. I thought it looked really interesting, so I thought I'm gonna pre-order that for myself and book myself a day off so I can just game.
I've done that. I've definitely taken a day off from work to do that.
I've got to try and plan it though, so I know that the kids are at school, so that I can actually just sit and do nothing. If not, they'll be wanting to play Hogwarts Legacy or something on there.
Nice.
Right, Jeremy, did you have a question for me?
See, the thing is, Adam asked my questions.
That mother.
Exactly.
I'm joking. You can ask or try and rephrase them, or try and shoot down a slightly different path.
Well, I guess a rephrase of one would be, is there any particular role you've always wanted to do, whether it's been done before or it hasn't been adapted to film or screen in general, that you wanted any particular role?
I would have loved to do something like Michael Myers.
Okay.
And Halloween, especially like the Rob Zombie, when Myers became more of a just absolute beast smashing things about. I'd have loved to have been an iconic horror villain, iconic horror icon type of thing. And I suppose I have sort of touched on it slightly when I did the TV show called Wreck for the BBC. You've probably seen The Duck.
I watched that. That was so good.
Did you like it?
I had a lot of fun. I got so upset when it got canceled.
Yeah. I was looking forward to doing another season because I'd heard some ideas spitballing about where the next season was going to take. But yeah, it got cancelled. They were hoping it was going to get picked up by Hulu at a point, but I don't think that ever came.
A slasher style TV show, it actually worked well. Yeah. Surprisingly, compared to most things that have come out.
I had a lot of fun on that, and at one point, I ought to reach out to him again. But there was a scene that we did. I know Pete wanted to talk about it a bit, but it was when I was sort of having a bit of a ruckus with an actor guy called Pete, and he pulls my mask off, and basically the mask, the way he did it, it cut all my face open and bruised me up pretty badly. And he was talking about potentially coming on the live stream and chatting about it. Yeah. I know there's a lot of restrictions around the BBC shows, so we can't show too much or anything like that. So I was a bit, but now Pete's gone off to do bigger and better things. I don't know if I'll be able to get a hold of him to come onto a live stream anymore. He's working on...
Bribe him with some cake. Everyone likes cake.
I'm trying to think. Knights of the Seven Kingdoms, so that's what he's on at the moment. So, yeah, I think his star is quite a bit bigger now, so I don't know if he'd... lower himself to my level. We'll see. But
other question, I guess, kind of off the top of my head, considering collecting and time, how do you think the future holds for you with how much you can actually get done, whether it be watching, reading, playing, and is it really worth having so much in general? Because granted, I have nearly, if not the same amount as you do. Yeah. So I toss that question around in my head all the time. Like what I go back to, what I won't go back to. Yeah, selling here and there, but time.
Yeah. this is something that does worry me, because I keep seeming to take on more and more. I want to do more and more, and the things like the movie watching, it sort of slips perhaps lower than it should be, because I've started doing the YouTube videos, and then I want to learn how to edit, and then I've got a series of video plans that I want to do, and it's fitting it all in. So the collection, it does worry me that I'm just not getting back to it, because there's so many other interests and so different offshoots of things that I want to do.
And when you go, like, for lack of a better term, balls deep into something you really like, and then try to go through all that catalog in the different movies.
Yeah, I mean, today, for an example, obviously the kids are off, so that's one sort of hurdle to get over. But I've also had an audition for a voice job for a video game, so I've had to take a couple of hours out to go and do that. Then I've had to take the kid kickboxing, and all this time goes along. And I think, you know what, I've got all this stuff sat here. I know I'm not getting to most of it, and it just makes me think about dwindling it down more and more. The books that I collect, I don't tend to keep hold of as many of those once I've read them. A lot do get cleared out. And the same with the video games. Most video games have been cleared out. I think they're stacking up again now because of the kids. But personally, I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 games in my collection for what I've kept hold of. Most of the others have just gone. The kids have got a lot more. But yeah, it's I've tried to dwindle that down, because I know that I'm just not getting to it. And I think this is one of the reasons that digital's come in a lot for me as well, because when I'm working away and things like that, I use that a lot more, which is sad because it isn't always physical.
Yeah. Like, I'm kind of on a similar boat. Like, I've managed to get through all the books that I own. As far as re-going through, some of them I have, some of them I haven't. Comics, I still got a little bit of a pile of like 5 or 6 graphic novels.
Yeah.
Physical, as far as stuff, everything in my pile of to watch is stuff I previously owned, just upgraded. So it's not like rushing.
That's not bad.
Yeah. And then with the TV shows, it's just kind of like, oh, this thing this week, haven't even started that Daredevil Born Again season 2.
Me neither.
Yeah. So it's like going out and do stuff.
Yeah, that's the other thing, isn't it? It's where you balance that time versus collecting. It's yeah.
I think one of my biggest hurdles is clearing out the audio dramas and audiobooks.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, that was good, I'm going to hang on to it. And then am I going to go back and spend 8 hours? Am I going to go back and spend 3 hours? Am I going to go back and spend 20 hours?
Audiobooks are good for me when I'm on the move, when I'm traveling and things like that. I love a good audiobook. So depends how much traveling and how many you can get through.
Exactly.
Just got Slotprofessor says, don't you feel that streaming quality is going down on Netflix? I watch a lot less on there now compared to other services. To be honest, I've used Netflix as a streaming service for a long time, and when I do, it's through, I don't pay much attention to Netflix one, to be fair. It's one of the lesser services for me now.
Like, I think with Netflix, it's one of those things I subscribe when I know my show's coming back. Like, I subscribed when Stranger Things finale was going, and now I'm unsubscribed. But I'm subscribed to Apple for Monarch, Legacy of Monsters.
Yes.
And then subscribe to that.
If you get time, check out Shrinking. That's really good.
Shrinking.
Yeah, it's the Jason Segel and Harrison Ford comedy drama type thing. The two psychiatrists. I really enjoyed it. Glenn did not. He didn't like it at all. But for me, it's a show that sort of emotionally gets me. It can make me laugh and cry within one episode, and I appreciate
things. As I've gotten older, I look for that more emotion.
Yes, yeah, and it hits that for me. It doesn't do for everyone, because as I say, Glenn hates it, but it's got
I don't think the three of us are that far apart in age.
No, not at all. Anyway, Jeremy, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to review you from the chat for now, and I think we're going to move on to Anthony Piello if he's ready.
All right, let's see you later. Take care.
Soon, sir.
Super
Thank you
chat
very much for
are
joining
on.
me. Goodbye. Right. So the next one, I've already spoiled it, but Anthony, are you ready?
Yeah.
How are you doing, my friend?
Hi. Hello? You hear
Are
me?
you good? I can hear you loud and clear. How are you doing?
Great. So far, so good. So nice to meet you face to face. So that's all I can say. So
Yeah. I can see behind you, you've got books rather than physical media.
yep, I got a lot of books here, and back here I got a lot of anime like DVDs and Blu-rays, and also right over there it's all the anime DVDs right there that I've been collecting for let's say the past 25 years. So.
Yeah. You're big on anime, right?
Oh yeah, I'm what you call an anime collector. So I've been watching anime for a very, very long time, ever since I was little, growing up and being born back in New York City, all that. So back then, when I didn't know that the word anime came to mind. So I've been when I came down here to Florida, I've been watching stuff like, say, like the Transformers, Thundercats, all that stuff. And so what got me back to watching like anime and all that is that series, which is called, it's more like a magical girl show. It's called Sailor Moon, that you probably never. So
nice. I remember when I was very young growing up, anime wasn't a big thing in the UK. There was you probably heard of the label Manga that used to release some of the VHS, and I vividly remember in my teens they used to release anime series, but they'd release I think it was 2 or 3 episodes on one tape each month or something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I remember they did it with Guyver, Bio Boost Armor. That was one of the ones I used to get. Dominion Tank Police as well, things like that. And they released some really good films, but anime was always very difficult in the UK to get a hold of. Yeah, there just wasn't that love for it there. They had a couple of magazines that were released around anime, but physical media-wise, like VHS, you'd struggle to find. So it was a thing that I kind of lost track of, unfortunately, just because of the difficulty in finding it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've been, since I've been, since I've been like, what is it? Since I've been going on to your show about, let's say, a year and a half ago, I was thinking to myself, since all of your viewers collect movies and all that, I was thinking to myself, maybe me being an anime collector and all that, I think it should be represented on here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's
different walks of life and all different strides and all that stuff. So that's all.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of great things to be discovered, and I think some people can write off certain genres, certain types and things like that just because they find it so different to what they're used to. So it's just they won't touch it. So for a lot of people my age, if I said watch this animated movie, Your Name, they oh no, animated, no, that's for kids, isn't it? It's like, no, actually they're not. And it's overcoming that hurdle for a lot of people, and it's where do they start as well with such a big variety. I think there needs to be a voice out there that said, if you want to try out this, then you check out these movies first. And I think there is space for that kind of content for people that know what they're talking about with animes. So you've been collecting for however long, so you're a great sort of resource to say, I want something that's like this, so can you recommend anything? And you would have a list. So what do you recommend for me? I enjoyed your
video. Nothing much in particular, but there's one thing that came off the top of my head. Since I know you're a big fan of, let's say, the Lord of the Rings and all that stuff. So I was thinking what I would recommend to you is this. It's became like a major inspiration for a director, Peter Jackson. It's the 1987 Lord of the Rings, which was two books of like the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two
From
Towers.
Bakshi.
It's this from Ralph Bakshi. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, Bakshi. Sorry. Yes, I remember that actually from my youth. A long time ago that was, but yeah, I do remember seeing it on the TV in the UK.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Oh, and also, if you have, that's another thing. One thing I do recommend. Speaking of, I think there's a you're familiar. Have you watched that movie called? You're familiar with Smokey and the Bandit? So,
Yeah. I'm not the greatest fan, but I am familiar with it. Yeah.
yeah, if you're like, yeah, I don't. Not that I'm expecting you to, but if you like that kind of like an action pack, like a roller coaster ride kind of thing, high speed chase and all of that, then you definitely want to give it a try. So, well, that's my suggestion. So,
Well, I'll give that a try. And anyway, Anthony, did you have a question for me or anything that's on your mind?
let's see. Well, I was thinking, since you've been telling us about your like acting career and all that stuff, I was thinking in my head that since when you do like acting gigs and all that, it would depends on how long you be away for, like let's say months, weeks, or months, and that would all greatly depends. How much? My question is, how much? In like I'd say ballpark estimate. How much do you earn? How much do you earn for like acting and all that stuff?
Ooh,
Not just if I.
yeah, it can vary wildly. It depends on your positioning, and it also depends on your period of engagement and things like that. So some of the things that I've worked on, they will literally book you out for months and they will agree a fee for that amount of time. So you are beholden to them for a set amount of time. Others would pay you sort of per week and they would call you back when they needed you. You'd still be sort of on the hook with them, but they'd call you back when they needed you. So it massively depends on your contract. It varies wildly. It's probably only in terms of my acting, there's probably only been 1 year where one acting job has covered a sort of a decent yearly wage. Other than that, it's a few weeks here and there, and it means that I have to have another job to keep the bills paid and things like that. It can be incredibly paid, but it's just not consistently paid. So although it perhaps looks big money on paper for a week, you've got to think that you may only get 2 or 3 weeks on a certain job, and then you've got nothing the rest of the year. So it's nicely paid for that sort of 2 or 3 weeks, but then the rest of the year you need to find something else, or you're up the creek without any bills paid at home and things like that. So
yeah, I figured that would be the case.
Yeah, I think as you get further up, or you get to have a bigger name, your overall fee you would get paid for the project and just be beholden to them. But I'm not there yet. I'm not good enough for that yet. But
which is always best to have a second job around just in case, just to keep yourself.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of actors that are the same, that do have to have their sidelines, their other jobs. It's just the things that doesn't get talked about very often, because I think they see it as some kind of failure if they can't sustain their lifestyle just on the acting work, and they try and keep it hush hush because they don't want people to know that they have to find other work beyond being this fantastic actor. And that's why you see some actors that get into monetary difficulty, because they've tried to maintain a lifestyle and an image that's just it's never going to pay for, really.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Napster's just asked, is it true that you get paid extra if you need to alter yourself, like growing a beard or cutting your hair, etc.? It is, but again, it depends on what level you're at. That sort of thing, it's normally that you paid extra for that sort of thing if you are a supporting artist or movie extra. So it's the sort of lower tiered ones that you would get that boost for changing your image. The higher tiered ones, it's expected that you would just be made up to how you're meant to look. So, for example, when I've had to shave a beard, it's just been in the contract. I've never been paid extra for it. But for those that were playing smaller extra parts wandering around in the background, if they have to change their image, then yeah, there will be some kind of payout. And again, that goes up dependent on what actions they have to do. It can go up dependent on if they have to say anything and things like that. There's a whole bunch of different things on that. So, yes. Have you anything else for me, Anthony?
Well, I wanted to say, since it's my birthday like last week and all that, I just want what I pick up and all that. If you don't,
sure.
Yep, this is the one I got for. Since I ordered like 2 4K Blu-rays and all that, so
nice.
Let's see, this one here. Is this the one? It's called The Sword and the Sorcerers. If you see that,
is that a Vinegar Syndrome one?
Oh no, it's Scream Factory.
Scream.
Oh, Scream Factory. So, like Sword of the Sorcerer stuff and all that. So,
Getcha.
If you see that, and this one here is another one, the Beastmaster. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Did Scream had that new edition of Beastmaster, and it was Vinegar Syndrome previously, right?
Yeah, this is not actually, this is also Scream Factory too. So
yeah,
like the sorcerer things and all that. But this one I bought for a very, very long time. I've been waiting for it. So this is something you never heard of. It's called Angel Eggs. It's directed by Mamoru Ishii, and it's supposed to be like some kind of like a classic from 1985. I haven't even watched that. So I heard it's very good. So.
Yeah.
So let's start off with this. He's one of them my brother bought for me. It's another like anime. It's kind of like a horror anime. This one is Lead here. Now, and this one here got for this here Tombstone.
That's a good movie. I like that movie.
See, ordered from Amazon. The Ice Pirates. It's a very good classic. See, this one I bought in FYE. This is this used one, The Dark Tower.
I've not watched that. I never got swung towards that.
A Stephen King novel. It's a
I think it worried me because it had such a short runtime for a Stephen King novel that's spread across so many books, and then this movie came out and it's like 90 minutes long or something. I thought there's something not right about that, so I never bothered even giving it a try. But have you watched it?
Oh yeah, I've watched it a few times. So it's very great. More like action-packed, more than fantasy and all that stuff. So, and I bought this here called The Conqueror, right here.
Nice.
See, I bought FYE Cobra for
nice.
alone. So I know you have that on Blu-ray too. So it's a
It's not as stacked extras wise or picture quality. It's just in the Stallone box set. But it's a movie I do have still.
Yep. And plus from FYE, it's a used one. It's a Carrie, 1976. This is
brilliant. I love Carrie.
Yeah, that too. Also, Big Trouble in Little China.
Classic.
Yes, this here. And also, last but not least, The Outsiders, which is directed by Francis Coppola. I watched it a very long time ago, so
I've never seen that one. But it's got a stacked cast.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it does. Well, so that's about it. So
excellent. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to just watching the time as well. Got a couple more people waiting. We've got Alex the Great next, if he's ready, and then we've got Fuzzy Musler as well. So thank you very much, Anthony. It's good to see you in person.
Good to see you too, Phil. Take care.
And I'll catch you soon. You take care, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. That was Antonelli Piello. So on to our next one. Is Alex Great ready? Hello, Alex.
Yeah. Am I coming through? Because I'm doing all this on my phone, and I'm just like, because I was
you through, man. You sideways on, but we've got you.
Oh, crap.
There we go. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. just sort of, my usual weekend of, well, this is ironically this is sort of like my usual Sunday evening. It's like, oh yeah, I'll go on live stream and
jump on.
hear
Is that
Bill ramble that stuff.
You've not got a movie collection behind you? Is that PlayStation games?
Yeah, that's PlayStation games.
The movies there.
Some films are there, and then some films are over in the corner because it's I'm in a smallish flat, so not massive amounts of space, but
I suppose you have to be smart with where you put things.
Yeah, that's hilariously part of my latest shtick is buying. When you get like some picking out a telephone, but when you get like a collection of films in like one case, or I've been doing that. And I'm debating whether to do it for some other films, but then it's like, do I like them enough that because I was looking at it earlier because I've got all the Mad Max movies in one case, and then I've got Furiosa to the side. So I was like, do I buy that latest like 5-film collection that I keep seeing in like HMV and stuff? And I'm like, yeah, but it's like 30 quid, and or do I just buy like some of those little disc holder things off eBay and just stick them into the inside of the case, and then just stick like Furiosa in there? And I'm like, yeah, that might work better.
I just sent it Furiosa on digital the other day. I've not watched it yet though.
It's entertaining enough. It's definitely one of those movies where I think, ironically, I think the the Mad Max attachment might have hindered it a bit. Because like people probably there was probably this expectation that people had for it, whereas if it was its own thing, I feel that it might have. It was sort of like a Poison Chalice sort of thing, where it's like the Mad Max name was obviously got a bit more eyes on it. It was like, oh, new Mad Max movie sort of thing. But at the same time, it's a Mad Max movie that doesn't have Mad Max in it. It's like, why give it a miss sort of thing. Whereas, like, on its own, it's like it's an entertaining movie, but it's that same old thing where could it have done better? Would it have done better without the association with Mad Max, or did the Mad Max association help it more? Sort of. Thing.
So, in terms of your collecting, do you collect all sorts of things? Are you movies and games, and how many games consoles do you tend to collect for?
I've got like I've got my films. I've got my PS5 and my PS3. I am going through a sort of. I am doing the thing where what I'm doing for my films is being very particular on like, do I need this physically, or do I can I sort of, because I recently bought what did I buy? I bought a couple of games digitally because I was like, oh yeah, they're cheap, and well, partially because you can't get them physically as of yet, and at least so I bought the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black remake that came out last year because they haven't announced a physical copy, and I was like, well, it's been a year, so I don't think they're going to be doing a physical copy anytime soon. And I bought I still haven't played them, but I bought Blood Rain 1 and 2 off the PlayStation Store as well. And then I literally find out like a week later that they're going to be doing a limited edition version of like a physical copy. And I was like,
that's about right.
Yeah. And I was like, well, it's one of those. I was like, am I that fussed about it? Because I got rid of, like, last year, I got rid of a whole bunch of DVDs because I was like, do I actually really watch these? And I was like, but before I got rid of them, I digitized like all of them, and I've still got them on my hard drive. And I was like, oh, if I ever feel the need to want to watch, I'm trying to think of an example now. Now I'm blanking. I'm blanking.
That's all right. That's all right.
But,
Is there?
but yeah, it's like one of those. It's like I like it, but I don't like it enough that I need it on the shelf, sort of one.
I get you. Is there with what you collect, when you're saying you're sort of looking at clearing some things out or downsizing or whatever as you go through things, is there certain formats or certain things you find it easier to part with than others? Because I know I just mentioned that I find it easier to part with books and probably games at the minute than I do with films. Is there anything that's sort of easier for you or more difficult?
It has to. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's more, can I look at it and be like, am I honestly going to go back? I have to sort of kind of tell myself, is like, am I actually going to go back to this in like a few months to a year sort of thing? Because there's like, for example, there's this one game I'm playing now, which I'm enjoying, but I know for hilariously, I'm going for the platinum on it now because it's a relatively easy platinum to get. But I just know for a fact that I'll get the platinum and I probably will not play this game again because not that it's bad, but I've got so many other games like it that it's just kind of like lost in the shuffle sort of thing.
I get you. Yeah.
And it's like, again, it's not like it's bad. It's just that there's too many other things like it that I would pick over it.
I get it. Slot Professor is just asking, Alex, do you use Plex or another system for your movies?
To rip them, I use what's it called? Handbrake. Which you technically you can't actually use it to rip DVDs. You need to kind of go into the inner workings to do it because it's technically a converter, but there is a way of using it to you basically have to download Handbrake on its own, and then you have to go into the dark recesses of the web to find some code that you have to then put in some like folder sort of thing. Because otherwise, I'm fairly sure that Handbrake will probably get taken down. But they're like, "Hey, we don't actually do that. That's other people." And to be fair, it's actually really good as a converter as well because I remember when I was at college, I had downloaded a whole bunch of videos off YouTube, but they were converted. They were downloaded as, I think they were FLV files,
right?
And they worked fine on my computer because I was using VLC because VLC will play pretty much anything. But when I tried to give them to my friends to be like, oh yeah, I've got that film or TV show on my computer, you can borrow it. It doesn't work. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like I click on it and it doesn't work, and then it's like, oh, and then it turns out it's because it's an FLV file, and FLVs are kind of a weird format, so I had to go back and basically convert all of them to MP4, and then suddenly my friends were like, oh yeah, it works now. I was like, yeah. So
I get it. Have you got a question for me?
Yeah. One of my weird quirks is that okay, I don't know if you can see it, but these shelves are sort of like my actor and director sort of collections.
Yeah.
And I guess one of my questions is, how do you sort of order so I've got like my Arnie collection, which starts with Hercules in New York and ends with The Sixth Day. And within that, I've got all the films he's done with James Cameron.
Right.
But so my James Cameron all the James Cameron films that I've got are either in the Arnie set or down in the corner, which is basically The Abyss, Titanic, and Avatar 1. And I was just like, how do you go about sort of like ordering stuff like that? Do you just do them higgledy, or do you kind of have
I went through a couple of things, really. I mean, I've never had a director and actor selections, but I do still have director collections. It's not as big as it used to be because I've weaned some of the titles out of it now. But when my collecting was at its height, my worrying thing was I'd have the director collections, which a lot of them were complete. But if there was a film that I had a favourite section in here, which is a different room to where my director's collections are. If there was a favourite and it was one that I'd got duplicates of, I'd have one copy with the director collection and one copy out here with my favourites. For example, The Thing, the John Carpenter movie. My Scream Factory edition was in there with the John Carpenter collection, and my Arrow edition fat box was in here with my favourites collection. And there used to be things like that. So I was actually doubling up some titles so I could keep them in different places and have the collections complete as such. So I was really...
It's funny you bring up John Carpenter because I've got the exact same thing again. So I've got like a whole bunch of John Carpenter movies. And then within that, I've got it's sort of like my John Carpenter director movies, and then I've basically daisy changed my Kurt Russell movies onto the end of it. So I've basically got like pretty much all the movies he did with all the movies Kurt Russell did with John Carpenter, and then I've at the end of my John Carpenter collection ends with Ghosts of Mars, which I actually think is all right, but I know not everybody does. And then I've daisy chained Tombstone, Stargate, and the DVD of Soldier onto the end of that. I might buy the 4K of Soldier, the Arrow one. I should probably actually watch it first because I bought the DVD because it was like £1.50.
I would watch it definitely.
And yeah, so I could probably watch that before I commit to the Arrow 4K. But
make sure you do. Make sure you do. It's from what I remember, it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I tend to do now is the director collections is I class as secondary. It's no longer sort of a priority collection. So if I wanted something in with a different collection, I would take that out of the director collection. Still have the director sections on there, but yeah, I wouldn't be worried about taking them out of there. The danger is if you keep the separate selections is, like I say, double dipping or anything like that. So I would prioritize one and make peace with the fact that the other won't be as complete because their movies are with a certain other section.
Because I think I've also got like I've got a bunch of movies with The Rock in them, and then within that I've got Jumanji, the Robin Williams Jumanji movie, kind of randomly next to it because I've got the two Jumanji movies with The Rock in them, and then I've got the Fast and Furious movies randomly here, and off that I've got my Vin Diesel movies, which is sort of like the Riddick movies, Babylon AD and Bloodshot, and then off that I've got the Triple X movies, which obviously had like the first and third one have Vin Diesel in it, but the second one doesn't. But since it's part of a series, I was like, well, I should probably keep them all together here anyway. But yeah, I was just curious as to, when you've got multiple, like if you've got like a collection, like a franchise collection, which also has an actor in it that you collect as, because another one I've got is my Tom Cruise movies, which is, well, I say Tom Cruise movies because I've got some Mission Impossible movies, Minority Report, and Edge of Tomorrow, and then I've got his Mummy movie over on the other shelf with in the horror section. So I'm like It's like, should I put the Tom Cruise Mummy movie with the other Tom Cruise movies, or do I keep them next to the other Mummy movies? Or it's like,
You keep it in the bin.
I mean, the hilarious thing is, I had a friend who was like, "Oh, it's not too bad," but I did pick it up for £2. And
The Tom Cruise Mummy movie was a weird one for me because I split it over 2 nights, and we watched the first half, and I thought, you know what, this is actually decent. I don't know what all the bad reports were, and I was really enjoying it up to a point, and then when we watched the second half, it just turned to absolute crap. And if you watch it in halves like that, it's really kind of jarring.
I didn't actually mind it up until Russell Crowe turned up, and then that was pretty much when it was kind of like they dead stopped the movie, and it was like, oh yeah, we're going to do some world building for, like, you know, the Dark Universe. I'm like, well, I don't care about it. Just get back to, you know, fight the mummy and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
right. Pleasure for you to join me, Alex. I'm going to knock you off now, and we're going to get to Fuzzy Musler because I'm very conscious of the time. I don't know if I'm going to have time to hit anyone else after Fuzzy Musler, but we're going to get him on now anyway. So thank you very much, sir.
All good.
Pleasure. See you soon. Right. Next time is getting on. I didn't think this was going to go on as long. I'm surprised. I'm glad you guys can talk. It's awesome. Anyway, Fuzzy Musler. It's on.
Hello.
Fuzzy Musler.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Are you, sir?
Yeah, good. This streaming business, not as easy as I thought. The lighting, bad.
Fully lit up and everything.
Well, I tried. I put the big light on, and I was like, "Well, you can't see me anymore." It was completely... I mean, I use this in my office in the week, this in the day. Windows open.
Yeah. Got a nice.
One of my internet arrows went as well, so I went offline for a minute.
Oh man, I saw you sort of disappear, and I thought, oh, have I taken too long to get here?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's getting on, isn't it? I'll try not to take too much time.
No, that's good. You've got some quality titles showing on the back there. It's the nice Godzilla collection.
Yeah, it's all right. It just goes and goes and goes, but that's it.
No,
try and keep it. It's mostly I've got a cinema room, not a big one, a little one outside, and there's some Hong Kong movies there. I just wanted a separate section for the Hong Kong stuff, but
yeah, I suppose that's growing now as well, isn't it? The Hong Kong section.
It got massive, to be honest, and then I've messed this all up, and then Hard Boiled. And all the Princess catalogue, is it called, all started coming out. So, but I was quite new to Hong Kong until they started all 88 films and Shout Arrow started bringing them out, and I was like, I quite like this stuff. So,
you know, even at that, we're still actually quite limited in the UK to what Asian titles are actually released, not just Hong Kong ones, but from all over Asia. I think we're quite limited in what we get, and it is getting better now with the likes of 88 and things like that, but there's still a lot of like Johnny To films that haven't got released, or Takeshi Miike and people like that, and there's still just few and far between for decent releases. Really, they're just not covered as nicely. I've seen some good ones coming out of Australia for Asian titles. To be fair, there's the new is it called Chameleon? Have you heard of those? The label.
No, it's just Imprint and Umbrella, and then they're dipping their toes in bits. It's just also expensive, the Australian stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy prices.
I think I got that.
Yeah, to be honest, I watched Hard Boiled last weekend with the wife, and that was after you and I think it was you talking to Glenn about how this other guy blind brought it, same as me.
Yeah.
And they didn't like it, but I didn't have that experience. We loved it.
Oh, did you? That's good to hear, because
I mean, yeah, there's a bit of 90s cheese. Is it? Early 90s,
yeah,
but I like that anyway. So
I think it's the difficulty with titles like that. They've got such a reputation for being sort of groundbreaking, but by the time, if you've not watched it in its day, by the time it's come back around, because it has influenced so much, it's kind of lost on a lot of people, because it now seems old hat, because so many things have copied it since. So it's nice that you had that sort of experience of enjoying it, really, even though it's potentially nothing new.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, my voice is going a bit because I did the voice audition earlier, and it's just done me a little bit.
I've got some water just waiting.
Yeah. I've drunk all my coffees.
No breaks.
Yes. Have you got a question for me?
I've got something to show you. It's nothing weird.
This is my penis.
It's actually, yeah, can you imagine? Very brave.
No, can't imagine
doing this without any vetting anyone. But there you go. Glenn's always going on about the posters and
right.
Through the postcards, but the posters in the hard collections. This is what I do with my posters. I make them into like a coffee book.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but just to give you an idea. Like,
oh, nice.
Because otherwise, what is the point? You either need to put them on the wall or do something with them, or they're just stuck in a.
And you know what? You showed me that. I've actually got. I don't know if I've got an empty one, but I've got a folder like that at home because the wife bought it for me because I was in the newspaper a couple of times, and she's like, "Oh, we can start keeping your things in here." So I've actually got a couple that the posters could fit in. Now that's quite a genius idea.
It wasn't my idea.
Oh,
no, I can't. I think it was Invincible Asia who did it once years ago on a YouTube video, and so I can't steal the idea. I can
steal the idea for a YouTube video.
I think it was a great idea, and he did it as well. Because I was the same. Like, what do you do with all these posters? And you want to nice, then you can actually go back and look at them, so you can put them out every now and then. Yeah, have a look.
Are the posters things that you put on the wall?
I have got a couple up in the cinema room. I've got a few posters up in. I've got some posters up in here as well, but they're proper posters, not ones that came with it.
Do you get tempted with the you say proper posters, sort of the theatrical ones, but do you get ever tempted by the more unique takes on the posters from various artists, like the things that Vice Press are putting out, for example? Do you sort of follow up in those sort of things? Because there have been a couple that I do think look nice, but
they look really nice. It's just lack of room, because I've got this room, and like I say, it's like a cinema bar in the garden outhouse thing. That's all I've got. So
where you put them.
Wife would kill me if this goes outside of this room, starts taking over the house. I'll be a dead man. So it's like the collection, like it has to end, and I want it to end. Like I don't want it to end, but I've been refining it a lot and going through it a lot. And I think we spoke previously about sort of, because I feel like, Phil, you're on the same journey I've been on. Maybe you're like a month or two behind, maybe, because you've done the, what do you call it, the shelf of shame.
Yes,
I've been there with the shelf of shame.
Have you?
So I haven't got a question for you, but I've got some advice.
Yeah.
Don't keep the shelf of shame.
No.
It will drive you mental. I did the same thing. I got it out. It was a few hundred movies. I don't know how many yours is. It's like
about 150 last count.
Yeah, my mum's 200. I got them all out, put them to one side, and then they were just there, and they were a burden. And then I started watching them, and I did the same thing as you. I got like 2, 3 that I didn't like, and it felt like such a chore because I wasn't enjoying the films. And I was like, God, when am I going to get one that I like? And so what I did is I split it down and really had a good look. You know, some of these films I've not watched since I brought them 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
Sat there with them, and I kind of said, you know, why do I watch this? I went through a phase of buying films just because people said these are must-watch films. AFI Top 100. Oh, I must get them all. They're classics. But there weren't films for me, a lot of them. So I looked at them. I took to one side any that didn't feel, they went to CEX, the ones that just I wasn't feeling. And any ones I felt I did want to revisit, I put them back into the collection. And then what I've done is, it's probably hard to tell, is the ones that I haven't watched are slightly out a bit more than the other ones.
Right. Yeah.
Just so they're a bit more obvious, but they're not, it doesn't look so bad. I look at it and it's like, this is the sparse film rather than like 100.
I've actually, the shelf of shame, I did a video going through each one and trying to rank them. So I got 4 shelves, and I got like top shelf's priority, bottom shelf, I'm not sure if I'm actually bothered about. So I dare say that bottom shelf, I could pretty much cut them out and just get rid of them without being too bothered about them. The top shelves are definites that I do want to get to. But when you talked about that bottom shelf thing, it's like, why the hell did I buy it? Am I really that interested? Am I going to get enjoyment out of it? And I think it's particularly telling, like you say, the couple that I've picked out and watched so far, Nice Arrow releases, I didn't enjoy them. It was Boondock Saints,
to be honest.
Cohen and Tate.
Yeah. I think just get rid. It will make it feel less of a burden. And you don't want to watch them anyway. That's why I'm on the bottom shelf. And then I would do something or write a list of the ones you've not watched and then put them back in your collection. I think it's not kind of nice to have your library anyway of them. Like, there needs to be some stuff that's new to you anyway in the library. It's just when it becomes too much. I think that's what we both went through. Like, oh my God, there's so much unwatched.
Yes.
Because, it's kind of fun to have new stuff to visit. But, that's how I've handled it. And it's definitely made me feel less stressed out about it. I need to watch a film every day to get through this pile, and it never gets down. And then you're bringing new stuff in.
Yeah.
Not loads for me, not loads for you, but...
Yeah, when I've boxed the old DVDs up and put them in the attic, when I got them out of the attic, it was just made me realise, like, I've not seen these for months, and I've rediscovered them, and I'm still not feeling the urge to watch all of them right now. So we'll get rid. I've not noticed them not being there, and I've not noticed when they are there. So I cleared all those out pretty swiftly.
It should be exciting, the hobby. It should be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch them. Although I love the last question because that's a joke me and my friend have about how we spend more time reorganizing the collections and going through them than actually watching.
I've definitely been
the shelves and things, just so no one can ever see them. Really, well, I guess they have now.
Right. I'm going to wrap you up, and I don't know what to do. I'm going to take your advice now, right? Because time is ticking on. I'm running well over. So, do I quickly run through what I watched, or there's a couple more people in the chat that we've seen before? Do I give them quick fire questions?
Don't leave that up to me. Who am I to say?
Well, we'll see. I'm gonna.
What do you think is going to be more fun, and how much time you've got left to do? You do that.
I think we'll do a quick fire. So Adam, Slotprofessor, and Morton, be ready. We'll do a quick fire, and then I'll get rid of you and move you on pretty quick, and then we can carry on. But for now, thank you very much, Fuzzy Musler.
Yeah,
see you on the chat, and we may do this again someday.
Yeah, be fun.
I'll catch you soon. Thank you very much.
Glenn. I want to talk to Glenn.
But
we'll
try this again with Glenn one day, eh?
Yeah.
Catch you soon.
See you later. Bye.
So we're going to quick fire. So Adam, Slotprofessor, Morton's reviews, quick fire questions, and then I'm going to tell you what I watched, and then I'm going. So do we need a bongo drum again? Adam, with your new background with all the Darth Maul stuff, how you doing, sir? Still with us, I see. I can't hear you now. You're muted. Let me unmute you. There we go.
Oh. Yeah, so I figured with us talking about Maul earlier and driving into the quick fire topic, I was wondering your thoughts as we discussed over a few weeks. Live action versus animation.
For Star Wars?
For anything in particular, especially with also having children, do you find yourself with the quality of current live action better, or do you find yourself loving more animation better?
I prefer to watch live action, but I admit that the storytelling in animated features for the kids and the family is very often outweighing the storytelling and emotion that we're getting live action. I'm getting a lot more feels from the animated films than I am from the actual adult live action movies. So while I prefer live action, I think the filmmaking, the writing, and the efforts for the animated features are outweighing them, are outweighing live action, and it shouldn't be like that. But yeah, I'm balancing the fine line. I'd go for live action, but I fully appreciate that animation is outperforming. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel that way too. I find myself watching a lot more animated things with the kids, and even some of them on my own where things are more adult appropriate than the kids can't watch, such as Blue-Eyed Samurai or things like Arcane. But going back to things for the kids, watching the last movie that we got for Puss in Boots, I believe it was The Last Wish.
Yeah.
The combination and 3D animation and that was absolutely phenomenal.
I agree. But anyway, apologies, Adam. I'm knocking you off super quick, and we're going to get to Slot Professor because we are running short on time. But appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much for your question. See you soon. All right, next one. Slot Professor's back with us. Good evening, Slot Professor. Again.
Hiya.
What's your quick fire question?
Okay, I know you've got kids, and I've been through that with my grandkids. What film were you most disappointed about that they didn't enjoy, and why?
That they didn't enjoy was
and you love
the Goonies. The Goonies. They would not get into it. They wouldn't sit and give it a chance to get into the story. And I think they missed out on a lot of the story. So by the time they got into the caves looking for One-Eyed Willie, they'd just lost interest, and I was extremely disappointed. And it's one of the reasons why I haven't dove into E.T. with them yet.
Excellent.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll catch you soon. And on to Morton.
Okay, man, I got a question.
Shoot.
We all, we collect movies, video games. Do you collect music CDs like a lot of us do as well?
It's not an ongoing collection. I haven't been adding to the CDs or anything like that, but I do still hold a CD collection for music, and every now and again I will pick up a DVD of a concert or a Blu-ray of a concert, but it's not something that I keep adding to, although I have got a temptation to order not an old title, but the new Foo Fighters album I was looking at. But yeah, it's not an ongoing collection that gets added to regularly. Even though I've been tempted recently with a few soundtrack CDs. I was thinking about collecting some soundtrack CDs, but that's just adding more to the problem for me, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely quite a hard thing to get over. I mean,
yeah. Do you collect a lot for the music?
Oh yeah, like I said, it goes all the way to the floor as well. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Also in the basement. Yep.
Yes. Thank you very much then, Morton. I'll leave you to it.
See you next time.
So then, ladies and gentlemen, I was going to do what I watched. I will give you a quick overview of what I watched, but then I've got to log off because we're way over time for what I'm thinking. So I'll not have time to read everyone's out. So if you want to save your watch lists for next week, I'll run through them with Glenn when we've got a bit more time. But my watches this week, I went to see Michael at the cinema with my wife on Wednesday. We both really enjoyed it. And I can see why it's got such poor reviews from the critics, because one, it wasn't a full story. Two, it's very much based on, there's a lot of fan stuff out there. Because my wife enjoyed Michael Jackson's movies, it was fine. It was fluff. It covered the music. We both enjoyed it. We were in with the vibe. We enjoyed what we saw. They could have taken the story further, but I don't think they knew what to do with the rest of the story for a movie, because it would paint things in a very different light, in a very questionable light. But I really enjoyed it. I'm a fan of Michael Jackson, which helped. And I see why critics didn't like it, because because it was what it was. And we enjoyed it as fans and as the audience members. We were tapping along, loved the music and things like that. The second thing I watched this week, I rented The Housemaid on Saturday last night. We sat and watched it because I'd heard good things about it. I know it was one that Glenn enjoyed, and he picked it up on 4K. And I'm quite surprised, because I rented it and I was still massively disappointed. Can't do thrillers like they used to in the 90s. We spoke about 90s thrillers earlier. This doesn't touch anywhere close to anything like that. Kind of saw the twists coming. It was far too long to get to anything of any sort of meaning. It was mid. It was okay. It was fine. But that was it. It was just fine. I can't fully recommend it at all. Glenn might tell you different. He might tell you different next week, but we'll discuss that with him anyway, because we're just hitting 2 hours on the stream of lots of me talking. So I hope you've all enjoyed the stream. It's been a little bit different. We'll make sure that we have times for pickups and also what we watch next week for you. Sorry I've missed it out. Sorry if I've missed a lot of the comments that have been coming in on there. I've been trying to stay on top of things and just losing complete track, but yeah, hope it's been a bit different for you. Hope you've enjoyed it and appreciate everyone that took the time to come on and ask the questions, and love you all. I'll catch you all soon. Bye. Oh, I've not muted it. Bugger.